Welcome back to the Dragon's Den. I'm your host, SinDragonLord, and I'm here with another pre-battle, I guess, strategy video, for the Global Pokemon Society Draft League Tournament. So, last time we faced Daytona, and we got a 2-0 victory over them. And we're looking pretty spicy, you know? I mean, ignore the fact that this says first place over here, because we're actually in second place. But yeah, we're in second place only to the trainer that beat us a couple of weeks prior. That being Mr. Vlad the Man, aka the Chicago Slow Kings. But I mean, we look pretty spicy though with this 20-point differential here. Like, I'm just saying, and I've told the Chicago Slow Kings this too. They got to keep winning. If they don't keep winning, with the differential that they have, they're gonna go from first to like fourth or like fifth, like real fucking quick. So they got to keep the ball rolling. But yeah, anyway, so today we are facing the El Paso Eelektross, and let's just go over here real quick. We need to check out their team. Here we go. So they're rocking with the Scizor, the Raikou, the Arcanine, the Flygon, the Swampert, the Spiritomb, the Parasect, the Jinx, the Volbeat, and the Floatzel. So, now, they got some pretty heavy-hitting threats over here, right? I mean, they got Raikou, which is basically the roided-up version of our electric type being Manectric. And let's be real, the only reason I didn't pick Raikou is because someone picked it first. But Manectric is a decent, C-tier replacement, and it does a very similar job, so I can't complain too much. Honestly, I mean, Scizor, obviously one of the best Pokemon, like, in the game, as far as competitive-wise goes, so, they're rocking with, that's obviously a threat, but that's okay, because we have some Pokemon that can deal with that. I'm not too worried about that. However, the Pokemon I am a little bit concerned about, there's actually two of them that I'm a little concerned about, right? This Flygon here, because it's a potential Choice Scarf threat that is unaffected by Sticky Web. So, that could potentially wreak havoc if it goes unchecked, right? And then the Spiritomb here, because that, a lot like with Mr. Vlad the Man's team, I can't just willy-nilly just spam high jump kick with Medicham with that in the background, So I gotta have to be a bit more careful with as far as that goes, right? So, and then, this Jinx, obviously it's a threat, Focus Sash with Lovely Kiss, Nasty Plot, and Dual Stab. It can be quite a monster if it goes unchecked, but that's fine, because I think we figured out a way around it, and I will explain that when we get into the team that I'm deciding to go with. But for now, let's just go ahead and let's go into the damage calcs, because there are two heavy-hitting Pokemon that I have on the team for this particular squad, right? And I did offensive damage calcs for those two specifically. I have technically three offensive mons with three more on the bulky side. So I figure that's probably a good, probably a good thing to have some bulk to go with my defense. That way I have some, easier switches if I need to do that, So anyway, let's just go into the offensive damage calcs here. So I started off with Medicham. So the team that I'm going to bring to this particular match is going to be the Choice Scarf Medicham, the Mental Herb Shuckle, the Heat Rock Torkoal, the Choice Specs Charizard, the Ipapa Berry Wigglytuff, and the Life Orb Victory Bell. Just because Chlorophyll plus Sleep Powder could also be really useful. So it's kind of fulfilling like a support role, as well as it can be a nice cleanup Pokemon once the opponent's team is a bit more weakened. It's not the biggest offensive threat, but it's fast. And in the sun, it's outspeeding basically everything. And like I said, with low enough health, it's just going to be a nice little cleanup crew. Might as well name him the janitor. Just going to sweep shit right up. Anyway, so let's get into some of these calcs here. So obviously, probably the best Pokemon on his team, just in a vacuum, is that Scizor. Um, Unfortunately for him, however, let's see, uh, fire coverage, fire type, fire type, fire coverage, fire coverage. Even though we don't want to be taking a bullet punch, but literally 5 out of the 6 Pokemon on my team have some form of fire coverage, as well as, Torkoal walling the shit out of it. Like, the Scizor cannot touch the Torkoal at all with anything, because it's massive defensive stat, and then it's also got Lava Plume, which obviously one-hit KOs, but even if it didn't, it's got a pretty significant chance to burn it, which will utter the Scizor utterly useless, right? But, I mean, on top of that, High Jump Kick also will one-hit KO the Scizor, which is surprising because Scizor's defenses are pretty good. But on a standard Scizor set, this actually is a guaranteed OHKO. So let's see. Yeah. So I was doing calcs for Banded, for Jolly Band, and Adamant Scarf, which is determined by the forward slash. Why did I forget what that was called? I'm so stupid. But I decided that Scarf was going to be the way to go, just because most of the threats that I'm worried about are OHKO'd with a Scarf. The only time it's not is if Medicham is intimidated, or if I don't have Stealth Rock up. But I mean, those are very how should I say? There are ways to work around that, right? So I decided the Scarf proved to be more beneficial than having the ban and being able to one-shot things through Intimidate or without the need for Stealth Rock. So yeah. Ice Punch and Zen Headbutt, not really gonna do much of anything. It's a 2-hit KO after Stealth Rock, or at least a 99.6, which is basically guaranteed, right? I mean, 0.4%. I'm pretty sure I have a better chance of winning the lottery than this has of not 2-hit KOing after Stealth Rock at that point. So here's where it gets a little dicey, right? The Arcanine, because the Arcanine clearly will have Intimidate. However, if he could potentially switch it up and bring a Flash Fire variant of this to counter all the Fire type coverage I'm going to have for that Scizor. So that is a possibility. But with that being said, if it's not Intimidate, it's going to show immediately. So if we don't see the Intimidate go off, that means it's clearly Flash Fire, which means we're obviously not going to be using any fire moves against it, correct? So, I mean, it's not going to be that big of a surprise if it is Flash Fire, right? So then defensive calcs, Jolly or Adamant, assuming it's an offensive Arcanine, which I saw a battle of his where he was using a Life Orb variant, so I have to assume it's either Jolly or Adamant. And in either scenario, Flare Blitz is a guaranteed one-hit KO. Doesn't matter if the sun's up, doesn't matter if it's Adamant or Jolly, it's going to one-hit KO the Medicham. However, it will not outspeed it. And Extreme Speed would be the only way it could, and it's only doing like 50 to 60%. So, and let's see. Yeah, so the Arcanine with Intimidate could potentially be an issue, but if it's not, then Medicham just handily deals with it, you know? Then we got Swampert. This was another situation where it was a choice between Band or Scarf, because Banded one-hit KOs, but Scarf does up to 92%, which is a guaranteed 2-hit KO. So Swampert cannot switch into me. Now, the defensive calcs for this, right? EQ does about the same as High Jump Kick does to it. But Here's the deal, though. I am faster than the Swampert, so in a 1v1, assuming high jump kick doesn't miss at all, we will win that 1v1. And then waterfall to 62 to 74, unless the sun is up, in which case it'll do 31 to 36. Let's see. So then we got this. Jinx here, right? So in either scenario, Fire Punch KOs the Jinx, whether it's Scarf or Banded, whether the sun's up or not. Fire Punch just 100% KOs it. Ice Punch. I'm only going to be talking about the Choice Scarf damage because I'm not going in with the Choice Band at this point. I've already explained the two bulky Pokemon that Choice Band would have been relevant for, but Scarf was just the overall better option, so we're just going to go with those cows. 45 to 53% for the Choice Scarf. High Jump Kick is a guaranteed OHKO on it as well, but it does have a sash, though, so that is something to keep in mind. If I am able to get Stealth Rock up prior to that, then that's cool, because it'll break the sash and I won't have any issues. But if not, then I've already come up with kind of a counter lead for Jinx, just in case it does happen. And I'll go into that when we get into the actual team. Excuse me. Speaking of which, I should probably turn on my Switch. Probably a halfway decent idea, right? There we go. Now, for the Raikou, right? I only did real calcs for the big hitters or the big threats. The others, he does have a couple other threats. For instance, I did not calc for. Let's go back to just briefly back to his team composition here. This Volbeat, for instance, would be a huge problem because I'm pretty sure this Volbeat gets Prankster. And it's got some pretty annoying moves to go with it. It's got T-Wave, it's got Tail Glow, it's got, I think Baton Pass is banned. I'm pretty sure. So I don't have to worry about Baton Pass with Tail Glow, which is nice. Solid. Because that would be a problem. But, we got things like Encore, Thunder Wave, Tail Glow. We've got some really good moves to abuse with Prankster that could be potentially annoying, right? For instance, let's go back to our team real quick. So prior to me taking some of the free agents that I did over the last week, being the Torkoal, the Victory Bell, and the Kabutops, right? I had quite a few setup sweepers, which, if locked into Encore, could have been a problem. But I don't have as many setup sweepers anymore, right? Most of them are just powerhouses without needing the need to set up, right? Excuse me. So, with that being said, let's go back to El Paso real quick. So the Volbeat is kind of a low-key threat, but we're prepared for it because we know kind of what to expect if they do decide to bring it, right? We know the Parasect, and he's probably not going to bring the Parasect because it's 4 times weak to half of my team. And the coverage moves that we have on the Pokemon that aren't Fire type will still one-hit KO it. So I don't anticipate them bringing the Parasect at all. They could potentially bring the Floatzel, maybe. And, there is some cheeky things you can do with Floatzel. I'm pretty sure one of its abilities on top of Swift Swim is Water Veil, which means it can't be burned. So you could do some cheeky shenanigans with a Flame Orb and Switcheroo to burn some of my more physically offensive monsters, back here. So the Medicham, the Kabutops. The Victory Bell could be a physical sweeper. They don't know. It could be physical or special. I have mine as a special sweeper right now, just because I do enjoy having Weather Ball. Because without Weather Ball, Seal types kind of wall it, So a physical moveset would look like Swords Dance, Leaf Blade, Poison Jab, and Sucker Punch, right? But a more special set would be Leaf Storm, Sludge Bomb, Weather Ball, things like that. And sleep powder. So I decided to go with the latter route because sleep powder is really good. Excuse me. However, if I did decide to make it a more physical set, it wouldn't be that difficult of a transition. Just swap the EV spread a little bit. And then we have more physically offensive Pokemon, because the only physical offensive Pokemon we have currently is Kabutops and Medicham. The rest of them, if they're offensive at all, they're specially offensive. So something to consider for the future, possibly, if the situation calls for it. Going back to El Paso. Sorry for the long analysis here. I'm trying to give a detailed analysis for every battle that I go into. What else do we got here? I already went over Flygon, how it's a potential Scarfer that's unaffected by Sticky Web, which could be a problem with, outspeeding some of my faster threats. It's base 100 with a Scarf. That could be a potential problem. Swampert I'm not too worried about, to be honest. Because with a Sun team, there's obviously going to be grass coverage, whether it be with Solar Beam or Leaf Storm on a grass-type Pokemon that can abuse the Sun, right? Like Victory Bell, for instance. So I think we got a pretty solid strategy here. And then just briefly, just to go over some damage calcs for our second offensive monster, being the solar-powered Charizard. Yeah, basically in the Sun, as you can see, everything after the after the forward slash is going to be in the Sun damage. So Oko's Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Oko's regardless. Air Slash is a guaranteed Oko in the Sun, not out of the Sun, but in the Sun it's a guaranteed Oko. Fire Blast against the Arcanine, assuming it's not Flash Fire, which is a distinct possibility that it could be. If it doesn't have Flash Fire, in the Sun, Fire Blast will one-hit KO a offensive Arcanine. Flamethrower is a guarantee. It's basically a guaranteed Oko after Rocks in the Sun. Air Slash, guaranteed Oko after Rocks in the Sun. Solar Beam in the Sun does about 50-ish%. Against Flygon, basically after Rocks in the Sun, everything is going to one-shot it. Just things to consider though. I am a timid max speed Charizard, but Jolly Scarf, Flygon, and also Adamant Scarf, I'm pretty sure also outspeeds me. So if it's choiced in any way, shape, or form, well, if it's banded Jolly, then it's a speed tie, and it's 50-50. So probably should not be trying to force a 1v1 with Flygon, to be honest with you, because if it carries Stone Edge is obviously gonna wreck my shit. So probably in my best interest to avoid a 1v1 with Flygon, unless I'm able to prove that it does not have any sort of choice item. Okay, moving on. So next we got Swampert. Now I don't know what kind of Swampert he's running, if he's running like a bulky attacker or if what he's trying to do with it. So I just went on the safe side here and decided I was going to do calculations for max special defense, max HP. That way, I'm at the worst case scenario. So in the Sun, with max special defense, max HP investment, we're looking at 52 to 62% in the Sun. However, Solar Beam is just a one-hit KO, no matter what. So, versus Jinx, obviously, so in the Sun, basically 3 out of the 4 moves, one-hit KOs, Air Slash one-hit KOs after Rocks in the Sun. Raikou, Charizard actually will outspeed standard Raikou after a Sticky Web. So with that in mind, Fire Blast and Flamethrower both one-hit KO in the Sun. And then finally, Spiritomb, Fire Blast and Flamethrower one shot in the Sun. Air Slash does about 76 to 90%, and then Solar Beam does 82 to 96% in the Sun. So, with that being said, let's move on to the next portion of this particular analysis here. Let's bring up. Okay. So, here's more or less how I'm going to counteract the Jinx lead. right? Because if Jinx is able to set up a lovely kiss on whatever lead I have, and then just start setting up nasty plots, it's a huge threat to my team. I'll basically be guaranteed to lose 2 Pokemon just from the Jinx alone, just because I'm not able to one-hit KO it, right? Through the Focus Sash. So, to counteract that, what we have done is we're going to go with a Torkoal lead. That way, if the bitch does put me to sleep, we're guaranteed, right, to be able to break the Focus Sash, bare minimum. I mean, if we're able to hit Lava Plume off the Sleep Talk and get a burn, obviously that's just best case scenario. The best case scenario. But in the worst case scenario, we just get a Rapid Spin and we break the Sash, and then we send in Charizard, and Charizard outspeeds and easily KOs it, right? So no big deal there. So that's how I think we're going to deal with the potential Jinx lead. We're going to lead with the Torkoal. We're going to start by shooting off a Lava Plume, just in case Lovely Kiss misses, or if they decide to just set up a nasty plot. I don't want to be caught with my dick in my hands going for Sleep Talk, just to have her go for a fucking nasty plot. So we're going to start with Lava Plume. If they do put me to sleep, fine. That means they have to take another turn to set up a nasty plot, in which case I will use Sleep Talk, and we'll get off either a Rapid Spin, a Lava Plume, or a Solar Beam. So that's more or less where my head's at, as far as that goes. So the match will be happening in about 40 minutes. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's just go ahead and we'll get right into the battle. Okay, and we're in the battle portion of the video, so let's take a gander here. So he actually did not bring the Spiritomb, which is nice. He didn't bring the Volbeat, so I don't have to worry about Prankster Rain Dance or any of that other bullshit shenanigans. But he did bring pretty much, at least as far as like rankings go, the best Pokemon he has on his team. So the Jinx lead is pretty obvious, but like we mentioned in the previous portion of this video, we're prepared for that lead. So we'll just go ahead and I forgot to put the life orb on the victory bell. Shit. So yeah, I guess we're rocking with the white herb victory bell, which is fine because, you know, getting your stats back after Leaf Storm is pretty nice, but that's gonna be a one-turn use type of thing. So hopefully it doesn't impact too much. So there's the Jinx lead, like we figured it would be. We'll go with the Torkoal lead, and so just in case, they miss the Lovely Kiss, or they go for something else, I'm just gonna go for the Lava Plume right now. But then if they hit the Lovely Kiss, ooh, a switch. Okay, so something's just fitting to hit a... Alright, so Swampert, that's fine. This is actually okay. And this is okay for a couple of reasons. One, we could potentially burn the Swampert, which it doesn't look like we do. But that's fine. So wonder why he would... Is he just gonna go for an Earthquake? Let's switch into our boy Shuckle here. The Shuckle can pretty much take whatever this Swampert wants to dish out. It's bulky enough. Waterfall's damage is going to be cut in half as far as its damage, and I could potentially get up my hazards, and then I might not actually have to even worry about the Focus Sash on that Jinx, and our Sleep Talk will be not revealed, so he'll probably feel comfortable enough to lead that again next game. Let's start off with the Stealth Rock. Ooh, Hydro Pump. Okay. That does nothing. Cool. We'll go with the Stealth Rock. I don't think... Maybe the Scizor has Defog. I think that's the only Pokemon on his squad that might actually have Defog. We'll go ahead and set up a Sticky Web. And I think toxic might be the way to go after the fact. And good lord, this thing is hitting all the hydro pumps, isn't it? Yeah, after that, we'll just go ahead and we'll set up a toxic. I need to Swampert, Scizor, Arcanine, Jinx, Raikou, Toxic. That way we can put this thing on a goddamn timer. Jesus, that's 3 for 3. And Shuckle is just eating them up. Ah, oh, fuck off with the miss. Alright, so the Shuckle's going down here, but that's fine. Shuckle more or less did its job. It would have been nice if the Toxic would have hit. And that's 4 out of 5. That's 4 out of 4. Dude, what? That's insane that many Hydro Pumps hit in a row. That's fucking nuts. Alright, Alright, so we'll bring in the Victory Bell. It's probably not going to want to stay in. I know this thing has probably got an Ice move. But I reckon he's not going to want to stay in. So I'm just going to Sleep Powder whatever he wants to bring in. It actually just opts to stay in. So, okay, so that's fine. Oh, I need to, Swampert, KOs, Shuckle with Hydro, Pump, 5, 6. Okay, well, you know, fuck it, let's just go for a Leaf Storm. That'll definitely KO this Swampert, 100%. Victory Bell, KOs, Swampert with Leaf Storm, 5, 5. And the sunlight is fading, so chlorophyll is no longer active, which means our base speed is going to be cut, or our speed stat's going to be halved. Let's see what he opts to bring in. Arcanine, okay. Well. So it is Intimidate. It's not going to be Flash Fire, so that's good to know. Honestly? Arcanine's base speed is 80, I think, so it's definitely faster than. I don't. Yeah, let's just bring back in the Torkoal, because this Arcanine can't really touch the Torkoal, I don't think. And we'll get the Sun back up. Now, granted, Flare Blitz will be stronger now, but yeah, but I think Torkoal can still take it okay. Okay, so that's definitely a 3-hit KO. But with Flare Blitz recoil, Life Orb recoil, plus the damage it's going to be taking from Lava Plume, I think it's going to be fine. That, and we don't have to worry about Jinx anymore as far as a Focus Sash, because Stealth Rock will break it. So Torkoal more or less has already done its job, kind of, sort of. Ah, Morning Sun. Yeah, that's a thing. Okay, so... So... Ooh, that's actually some decent damage. Not gonna cap. That's actually some decent damage. Yeah, let's go for another one. Because after Flare Blitz and Life Orb Recoil, it might put it in a range where Lava Plume could actually KO. Alright, so it's gonna go for Extreme Speed. So he's kinda catching on to what I'm trying to do here. So I don't think he's gonna go for Flare Blitz here. Probably going to go for he's probably going to go for the Extreme Speed again, just because Flare Blitz from this... It's either going to go for Extreme Speed or he's going to go for the Morning Sun. In either scenario... in either scenario, let's just stay in. So he has Extreme Speed, Morning Sun, Flare Blitz. I don't know what the fourth move is. Yeah, let's just fuck it. Crunch. That's the last move. Okay. So after Life Orb Recoil, Lava Plume should take it out. And if not, Morning Sun is the obvious play, but not the case. Torkoal KOs Arcanine with Lava Plume. 5, 4. And we're going to switch Torkoal out here, just because it did eat up a lot of turns of Sun there, just dealing with that Arcanine. So we're going to actually switch. What else does he have? Let's see, the Arcanine's down, the Swampert's down. He's still got Scizor, Jinx, and Raikou. And the sixth one I kind of forgot. I'll have to... Flygon. That's the one. Flygon. Okay. I think we'll switch into Wigglytuff here. Because, I mean, the Earthquake's obvious, and we can kind of gauge how much if it's banded or not based on how much damage the Earthquake does. Ooh, that could be banded. Let's calc that real quick. Wigglytuff. So we'll go for Dazzling Gleam, even though Earthquake's definitely gonna take me out. But we still need. Yeah, it doesn't really fucking matter. Modest. 252. 252. Flygon. Choice Scarf. Up. Ooh, that looks like banded damage, actually. Voice Band. Oh, yeah, that's banded. That's 100% banded damage right there. So, yeah, let's go ahead and, we'll go into the penis fly trap here. We'll attempt to put that bitch to sleep. Let me make a note here that Flygon KO'd, Wigglytuff. With Q, 4, 4. Okay. Yeah, let's try to put this thing to sleep. Because we're definitely faster than the Flygon here. And then we'll see if a Leaf Storm is able to KO it from that range after that. Okay, that's fine. Sends him the Raikou. So if that thing is banded, that means it's not scarfed, which means Medicham will actually be able to KO it. So maybe a switch to Medicham here is a good play. Also because the sunlight just faded again. So it's got to sleep for at least a turn, right? It's not going to wake up. So let's go ahead and switch back into let's switch into Medicham here. Yep. Stay asleep for another turn. The Spiritomb is not on the team right now, and High Jump Kick pretty much KOs the rest of his squad here. So, yeah, screw it. Let's just start firing off High Jump Kicks. Ooh, it's a Scarfed Raikou. Wait. It's a Scarf Raikou. Alright, that's really good to know. That Raikou is Scarfed. Okay, Medicham KOs. Medicham KOs, what was it? It was Raikou. With HJK. 4-3. High Jump Kick will KO Jinx from that range. Yep. Medicham KOs Jinx with HJK 4-2. And we're definitely faster than Flygon at this point. So let's just go HJK. Cham KOs Flygon with HJK 4-1. And I'm pretty sure High Jump Kick also 1 KOs the Sizzle. Yeah, from our damage calcs, we definitely know it does. It's probably going to go for Bullet Punch just to see if it can get the KO. If we miss HJK, Scizor will definitely take us out, but then we got Charizard to clean up. So either way, Medicham's putting in work this game. But it doesn't miss, and Scizor goes down. So Medicham showing why it's a fucking monster. Scizor with HJK 4-0. Primals win 4-0. Play with the same rules. Game 2. Alright, so keeping in mind, Raikou is Scarfed. Flygon is Banded. Jinx is Sashed. Arcanine is Life Orb. We don't know what Scizor is, but we know that Swampert is lefties. Okay. So we'll just go with the same lead. We have no reason not to. But it's important information to have that Raikou is Scarfed. Because even after Sticky Web, Raikou is going to outspeed a lot of things. So it's a good thing that we went for that Sleep Powder when we did. Interesting. Does EQ KO us? Torkoal. Will you support? It's not that, it's that. And Swampert. What about max attack? Earthquake does not, so we're just gonna go ahead and just go for Solar Beam. Because Swampert cannot KO us. And Solar Beam will take it out. Torkoal KOs Swampert. with Solar Beam 6/5. Now, does he go for the Jinx here? I doubt it, right? He showed that he's a little scared of the Torkoal. A little bit. So, depending on what he brings in here, will determine our next move. Flygon. So, I need to see how much Banded Flygon does to a Shuckle. Earthquake is a 3-hit KO, thus I can get my I could potentially get my hazards up. Let's just go ahead and do that. We'll switch into Shuckle. He's likely to go for Earthquake here. Ooh, he actually goes for the Stone Edge. Ooh, that's a 2-hit KO if another one hits. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Alright, well, let's try to get up a Stealth Rock here. We need to get that Sash on the... Okay, good. We're able to get up our Stealth Rocks. Alright. That way the Jinx in the back is not a threat anymore after that. Okay. Alright. At this point, we're sacking the Shuckle here. Ooh, we live on 3! Let's go, Shuckle! Let's fucking go, you monster! Fuck it, we'll go for Toxic. I could have gone for Knockoff, but Stone Edge is probably gonna knock me out this turn. And also, Shuckle did what it needed to do. So even if Stone Edge hits, it's totally fine. It did what it needed to do. Flygon KOs Shuckle with Stone Edge. 5/5. Yep. Shuckle, you did exactly what you needed to do. Good job, buddy. You fucking... Honestly, with the top 10 performing Pokemon that the Global Pokemon Society has, even though Shuckle is basically just there to put up hazards and die, this thing is a fucking MVP by itself, even though the records will never show that. In terms of... what's he? Solar Beam, Hazard. We still have plenty of... Yeah, we have plenty of sunlight left, so let's go into Le Penis Flytrap. And we'll go ahead and fire off a Sleep Powder. I realize I could have went for Medicham there because it resists Stone Edge, but I want to put something to sleep. And it looks like that thing that's going to be put to sleep is that Arcanine. So that's lit. Oh, you motherfucker. Now I don't have that recovery for White Herb. That's fine. I'm pretty sure 2 Sludge Bombs will take it out. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Screw it. Yeah, let's just go for Sludge Bombs. It's definitely not gonna wake up this turn. Yeah, so Victory Bell is gonna KO Arcanine here. Sludge Bomb. Victory Bell KOs Arcanine with Sludge Bomb. 5/4. Okay, here comes the Raikou. Now the sun's not up anymore. I don't think Raikou can actually touch me. I don't think it can, so what's stopping me from doing a Sleep Powder here? really nothing, right? Ooh, extra sensory. Um, somehow I'm still faster than it. Was I wrong about the scarf? Um, let's go ahead and bring in Metacham now. Ah, shit, it woke up. Okay, so Raikou with the extra sensory is going to do how much? Negligible. Negligible damage. Okay. Um, uh, same strat, I guess. HJK till it misses. But I do have to be careful, though, because if this thing does get knocked out before the Flygon comes back in, I don't have anything that can outspeed. Outside of a speed tie with Charizard. And that only works if Flygon isn't locked into Stone Edge. So, I gotta be careful here. But okay, withdrew the Raikou, so something's taken some hefty damage from. Okay, so Jinx, Metacham, KOs. Jinx with HJK. Unless it misses. It does not. 5. All that's left is the Raikou, the Flygon, and the Scizor. All of which are one-hit KO'd by Raikou, or by High Jump Kick. Assuming it doesn't miss. Assuming it doesn't miss. Metacham KOs Flygon with HJK 5-2. Okay. All that's left now is the Scizor and that Raikou. And that's basically it. Now, if the Metacham does miss a high jump kick, it's gonna go down. That's it is what it is. But now, since the Raikou is not choice scarfed, and it was somehow able to try to outspeed my Metacham, that tells me it has extreme speed, which is probably gonna go for here, right? Nope. Okay. Metacham KOs Raikou with HJK 5-1. All that's left is a Scizor now. Or yeah, the Scizor. Bullet Punch could potentially take me out here. But even if that's the case, Charizard can just come in and that's game over. So either way, it was a clean 2-0 victory. Yeah. KO Scizor. Five. Oh, Primals win 5-0 2-0 matches. Okay, well, good game to the Eelektross. I will figure out if they have any sort of YouTube or other social media that they would like me to shout out. It'll be in the description down below if so. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. This has been week 4 of the Global Pokemon Society Draft League Tournament. I'll catch you next week. Peace out.